Good morning and welcome to PA124, Week 3. This week we are in Chapter 3, which starts on page 37, and we're going to be talking about pronouns. But before I get into that, I think that your discussion question is important, so I wanted to talk a little bit about that. The discussion talks about when you sit down to write, what's important to you? Is it easy? Is it hard? Does the subject interest you? So I would love to hear from you guys about that. Again, it is a opinion-based discussion, so go ahead and answer it the way you would answer, and let's talk amongst ourselves. I really love that we're communicating back and forth with each other. I think that's a great way to do this discussion. That's how it was meant to be, and so just continue to do what you're doing. Thank you for that. All right, so page 37 starts your week 3, chapter 3 assignment, and we're talking about pronouns. And I really like at the top of the page, it talks about, do you write like this or talk like this? And it gives an example. And it says that typically we do not always refer to someone or something by repeating the same name again and again. Instead, you're most likely to substitute, and that part of the speech replaces nouns is called a pronoun. Using different pronouns correctly makes your messages more interesting because you eliminate unnecessary repetition. So again, a personal pronoun are substitutes for nouns. So personal pronouns represent person, places, things, concepts, qualities, or events. The person, place, thing, concept, quality, or the event pronoun refers to as an antecedent. Personal pronouns are identified by person, first, second, third, number, singular or plural, gender, masculine, feminine, neuter or common, and case, subjective, objective, or possessive. So it's going to work you through on chapter 3 talking about the different pronouns. On page 38, there is a table, the forms and functions of personal pronouns, and it gives you some different examples of that. So you can look at there and be able to pick out the pronouns in a sentence just by having it right there. And it goes on to talk about that in your chapter. Let's see. And at the end, we're doing A and B, so you want to make sure that we do know what pronouns are. They talk about possessive and contractions, compound personal pronouns, and there's checkpoints at each one if you want to do that. Relative pronouns, if you can do those. Whom, who, whose, that, which. Those are really hard sometimes when you're writing to know which one to use. And so I would read over that. It talks about relative pronouns on page 44. Subjective case, you'll use who or whoever. Objective case is whom or whomever. And possessive is whose. So you can read some of that. And I think that's really helpful, like when you're writing about something. And we usually are. So read some of that. Indefinite pronouns, there are singular and also plural, like anybody, anything, each, either, everybody, or plural, both, few, many, others. Can talk about those. I'm going to skip ahead on that. All right, and then the chapter summary starts on page 50. Your application starts on page 51. And they're wanting you to do A and B, so fill in those. Make sure that you do. I'm sorry, I think that's the chapter review. Make sure you double check your assignment of which ones they want you to do. There are 4 different applications, and a chapter review. Maybe they just want you to do the chapter review. I think they do on page 55. So I'm mistaken. Page 55, A and B. If you will do that and then submit it, you guys are doing great doing that. If you're having questions on any of that, let me know. I'd love to talk to you about tutoring, maybe just giving you a call and we can talk through some of that. Sometimes English can be not so fun. We're talking about pronouns and nouns and subjects and blah. So share that with me in your discussion. I think it would be great to hear from you. I'll talk with you soon and have a great week.